Hi, friends. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. Tonight is going to be awesome. My guest today, as we examine this morning thing, will be Victor Haruna-Francis, and promises to be an amazing time. You all need to hear this man. I mean, it's an incredible gentleman. And then we narrowed down largely on money management specifically. Money management is what we're going to be really looking at today. And so let's just enjoy ourselves. Please tell somebody to tell someone to join us, and it promises to be a time of your life. Thank you. My Oga, the top, PNA. Good to see you, sir. The peacemaker of God. Good to see you all. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Goodness looks good on us. Goodness looks good on us. Anywhere your glory. Anywhere your glory. Your goodness good on us. Your goodness looks good on us. Anywhere you go. Anywhere you go. You are good, and your mercy is forever. Tell somebody to join us as we examine this morning thing. In 3 minutes, I'll be bringing my guest up. Oh, goodness looks good on us. Oh, goodness looks good on us. Anywhere you go. Anywhere you go. Your goodness looks good on us. Your goodness looks good on us. Anywhere you go. Anywhere you go. There you go. and we will your love. And we will your love. And we will your love. And we see your glory. And we see your glory. Okay. All right. It's 7 o'clock Nigerian time. Thank you for being a part of this Insta Live. If you've not already done that, I would encourage you, invite somebody, to tell another person to join us as we look at this money thing. Money is an essential part of our lives, and it has caused strain in relationships. My mentor often says that no finance, no romance. So there's a connection between romance and finance. All right, so you want to make sure that you gain mastery over the so-called money. And it's so important that people would do just about anything legitimate, and for some people illegitimate things, so that they can just get this money. And so tonight, my special guest is Victor Haruna-Francis. You all need to hear this man, I tell you the truth. And tonight we'll just basically, someone says coming to collect my suits. Maybe I should remove it. Is it distracting you? Hey, my sister, good to see you. Temi Ezekiel, good to see you. I believe you are doing much better now. It is well with you and all that concerns you. Thank you for joining this Insta Live session. God bless you. All right, so in July, I released this amazing book called The Financial Freedom Master Guide. It's a book I'm really proud of. The book is already on Amazon, so you can get your own copy. For those of you with joining from diaspora, joining from the US, from Canada, from different parts of the world, you can actually get your own. But currently on Kindle only. The print on demand will be available soon, and then we'll communicate that. But for now, for those of you in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, the book is just going for 14,500 naira, and we deliver for free anywhere in Nigeria. Now, this book, I've had the opportunity to make money and lose money before, and I know what it means. Oh, Leo from South Africa, good to have you. Thank you for joining. And I can tell you this book comes with a money back guarantee. If you get this book, read the book, and it does not profit you in any way, call for your refund. You still keep the book, and then I'll refund you your money. I mean, that's how sure I am with this book. Somebody was just in my office today, and he said he has read this book back and forth. He said the book carries a lot of gems, and it's a very practical book, simplified, and so you can not only learn, but you can get to work almost instantly. So I encourage you to get this book, Financial Freedom Master Guide, Smart Keys to Making, Managing, Multiplying Your Money, and Living on Your Own Terms. Some of my friends also have read the book, and one beautiful thing about this book is that it has a lot of endorsements because of the rich value it contains. My revered mentor, Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, says here, so when it comes to the subject of financial freedom, Clement is, forgive me, this is not Dr. Lumide. He said, I have known the author for over 2 decades, and I've seen him practice what he shares in this masterpiece and produce results. So this is not a book by a theoretician, but a roadmap from a practitioner. I recommend this book for anyone that really desires to become financially free. So get as many copies as you can, and spread within your network so they all journey together with you. My very good friend and brother, Praise Forward, said, so when it comes to the subject of financial freedom, Clement is one of the few specialists that walk the talk. And this is more than a book, because every principle in here is what I've seen him live by and deploy to produce incredible results. This will transform you, but ensure it also transforms everyone around you. Fantastic book here. And then my very good friend, Biodun Oke, said Oladipupo Clement is overqualified to write on this topic, as is a practitioner of the principles discussed in this brilliant piece, which have worked in his personal life and business. I strongly recommend this book to everyone, particularly for that young person, employed or entrepreneur with a dream of attaining financial freedom. Fantastic book. And this program and this Insta Live is not just designed to talk about this. I just believe that if something is good, it's good to talk about it. And so the book is available now. You can place order anywhere in Nigeria and we deliver to you for free. Also, before this book was released in July, I started hosting Financial Freedom Masterclass January last year, 2020, out of the burden to see people create wealth. I actually have a vision to raise 1,000 global millionaires, and that's one of the major things that I'm pursuing. It's one of my life goals, and I'm extremely committed to it. Anybody who has known me for upward of 20 years know that I hate poverty with a passion, and I hate seeing people poor. I love to see people create wealth legitimately, and that's what drives everything I am involved in. That's what drives whatever it is that I do. And so last year, January 2020, was the first edition, and it was a bomb. It was a bomb, and a lot of impact, a lot of transformation that took place. One of the attendees, one of the participants at the last Financial Freedom Masterclass in January 2020, 6 months after, said to me, said he has earned income equivalent of 3 years' income in just 6 months. And it's based on some of the tested principles, things I do myself, that has produced results. I'm going to be showing you how to structure for growth, structure for income, and then there are lots of templates and experiences that has produced results. The book is divided into 3 parts. The class is also divided into 3 parts. The reason I'm talking about both the book and the class is some people may not have the time to attend the class. You can get the book. But some people, even after you have gotten the book, you still need to attend the class because there we break it down. All right. And there are people who still say, oh, sorry, I want to even take it a step further. I need personal coaching. So I'll be working with just 100 individuals, working class individuals who say, sorry, I need somebody that I can be accountable to. I need somebody that can show me, who can hold me. It's not free. So just for those of you who may be interested in either the book or the masterclass, or you want the coaching. The coaching is not free. Take note of that. All these classes, all these packages are not free. You can chat this number up, 0708 797 0441. 0708 797 0441 to place order for the book or to register for the Financial Freedom Masterclass. The Financial Freedom Masterclass is 100,000 naira, but 50,000 naira discount is available for those who register before the end of this month. It promises to be another time of your life. There'll be free, a lot of packages that comes with it. So just chat that number up or call the number 0708 797 0441. Let me see if my guest is in the house. Whether my guest is in the building. It's a Victor Haruna-Francis. So one moment, let me see if I can. Apologies. Just let me quickly get in touch with my special guests. Forgive me, please. I just need to do this quickly. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. My guest is in the building. Good
Great
to
to be here
have
tonight.
you.
Great to be here tonight, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much for accepting to be here. I appreciate you.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be here, sir.
Thank you so much, Shegon. Okay, so we are looking
Yes,
at this money thing. And I know it's one of your areas of expertise as well. And so, money has been a source of concern, has been a source of pain for a lot of families. In very recent time, this is not common, it's not unusual, but towards the end of the year, there's usually a lot of robberies on highways and traffic. And then we've had some of our friends, some of our colleagues who have been attacked in recent time in traffic. And it speaks to the fact that there's so much poverty in the land. You know, so yes, people don't steal because they don't have money. They steal because there's a justification for stealing. Somewhere in their head, somebody has told them a story that, sorry, this guy stole the money, so if you steal it from him, you have not committed any crime. Quite unfortunately, a lot of people are falling victim of all of this. So I just want to get from you, give us a sense of what your idea of money really is and how to get plenty of it. Let's start from there. I want us to really focus more on money management, but let us start from there. And then
great. Great. What a good place to start from. First, I want to say good evening, sir, and
good evening,
I want to
bro.
especially appreciate you for allowing me to be part of your show
I should be
tonight.
Thanking you.
I know that you're a big brother, and I love what you've been doing in this space. I must confess that the zest and the zeal that I see with you trying to help people not only get out of poverty but to retain wealth is something that is unusual around here. And I know, growing up in Africa like we all did, you know so well that growing up, person used to be rich. You know, say that man used to be rich. So it just speaks to the inability to retain the wealth. And so I appreciate you for not just being a wealth coach or a finance coach, but also the fact that you are also the kind of coach that helps people to hold on to their wealth, to retain wealth and pass it on to the coming generation. And so the subject of money is I picked interest in it more. I became more interested when I figured out that I was fairly doing well as a guy in the corporate world, but I knew that I didn't have. I was not in charge of my money. Money was in charge of me. I was not in charge of money. So a little less than a decade ago was when I decided, let's get money straight. Let's get money right. and it starts from having to understand what the concept of money is in the first place, like your question says. So it's because really, I know that we live in a constantly changing world where we will say that definitions are fast changing. It does not exclude the definition for the subject of money as well. But then, what precisely is money? So some people will say that money is currency. Money is the paper that you hold. Some will say money is the value, really, that you give out. That's how to attract money. But you know, like we learned from one of our mentors, who is also your very wonderful mentor, to say that to actually get the definition of something, especially money, you need to understand what it is not. To understand what money is, you need to have a proper understanding of what money is not. A few days ago, I was thinking about it, that poverty and wealth are both not medical conditions. So that people get it straight as they journey with us tonight. Poverty is not a medical condition. Wealth is not a medical condition. They are both not medical situations that requires medical diagnosis, that require medical treatments, that requires that we administer drugs to you medically. No. You know, like Dr. Olumide Male will say that poverty is not sexually transmitted, so it is not an STD. If you like sleep with the daughter of the richest man in the world, it doesn't mean that you are going to be prosperous. If you like go and be roaming around with in the name of, you know, we're talking about money management today, in the name of wanting it to rub off on you, go and be having affair with the richest people in the world. It doesn't say that it's going to rub off on you by the process of reproduction or whatsoever. No. So it's important to lay that to the table, to say that money is not what you get by having. Money is not a medical condition. It's not what you get by saying, I have the same blood type with Mr. Oladipupo Clement, to say that we are of the same genotype. You know, people who have AA, they have a way of being rich. No, that's not money. To say that, you know, this life is not complete. You know, God, everybody cannot have it all. So if you have AS, you are guaranteed to be financially free. It can't be so. It's not a medical situation. It can never be so. And so it is important that we understand what money is not, so that we can put a proper perspective to it. And the day I sat down to say, I like to get money right, I like to understand what money is, what money is not, then I sat down with myself and I began to, sorry, I'll do a lot of stories tonight, because my case is like the case of once I was poor, now I have moved on. So, so I will tell a lot of stories tonight, so that I can use that to buttress the point and to bring out some, because really, if I have journeyed in a little less than, if I've journeyed along this line a little less than 10 years, less than a decade, I should have some stories to be able to say, okay, when we were in so situation, this is how we went about it, this is how things went, this is how things came out. And sincerely, I can tell you there are plenty of those stories. And so in my journey, I have come to understand what true wealth is and what wealth is not. That you have money stacked up in the bank does not mean that you are wealthy. You know, one of our foremost motivational speakers said that some people are so poor, the only thing they have is money. Some people are so poor, the only thing they have is money. And you see, by the time you have interactions with people, you just get to understand what their definition of money is. By the time you sit down with people and try to bring out their value system, you will know what their definition of money is. So money for some people is that stuff that is stacked up in the bank. So I would say, for the sake of our conversation tonight, just for the sake of our conversation tonight, that money has different definitions. But for the sake of these conversations tonight, I would want to say that money, in terms of economic freedom, is your ability to be able to do anything that you want to do, that will move your purpose forward, anything at all that you want to do. That thing that can help you get anything that you want to do part time is my definition of money, just for tonight, before we move on.
Awesome. In other words, when you have money gives you options in a way.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It gives you options.
Absolutely.
So you are not limited. You are not confined when you have money. Awesome. Okay, so like I told you, I would want us to narrow down to money management.
Absolutely.
A lot of the times people tell me, oh, how can I make more money? How can I get more money? Thinking that the more money they make, the better the life they live. And I've learned over the years that there are two ways by which you can make money. It's either you lower your expenses and then increase your income. And like I always illustrate, when somebody is losing blood, when somebody gets injured, and then blood is gushing out, the first thing you want to do is not blood transfusion. The first thing you want to do
to stop the blood.
Is to stop the blood. And so I want us to look at that angle, because it's the area people hardly talk about. It's the area people. I mean, the more money people have, the more they wish they had.
Yeah.
Money has never been enough. People, you know, it has never been. It will never be. The more you have, the more you wish you had. You know, so sometimes people don't save, they don't invest, they don't practice all those principles, because if you are, how much is my salary? How much is the income? Yes, there's a place for you to earn more money. There's a place to increase your capacity to be able to attract more resources. But there's also a fundamental place for, you know, managing the resources that is available. And the little I've seen, I've also seen that money is a magnet. Money makes you a magnet. The more of it you have, the more you attract, the more opportunities you attract yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, and so you are not easily thrown off balance once there is an urgent demand and all of those things. And then you are able to latch onto opportunities that can even fast track your journey to financial freedom. So I want us to narrow down to money management. So this concept of money management, how do we, because of course somebody has to be making the money for you to be able to even manage it in the first instance. So I am not in any way undermining the place of making money. I mean, it's the starting point. After you have sorted out your mindset, you've got your mind correct. Once your head is correct, that's the foundation. Then the other pillars are the making money. Making money is the pillar, but managing money is like the roof. Is like what protects you. You know, because if you have $1 billion today, and you continue to spend $1,000 on a daily basis without the $1 billion generating, after a while, the $1 billion will evaporate. Exactly. So that's why I want us to really discuss around the money management, money management, and what are your thoughts on it, so that people listening to us can pick from it. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you for that. Take care. Okay, good. Good. Thank you for that tonight. Before I delve into that, I love the fact that you mentioned the concept of mindset and how it helps us to make money and then move into that arena or that magnetic field of wealth creation and wealth generation. But one of the challenges that I had coming into this side of the cycle, one of the challenges I had, which I know that a lot of people don't pay attention to, or people don't know how to go about it. And I think that it would be okay if we help people by it with the information that will help them on that tonight. And I must say, before I say that, talk about that money mindset, and I must say that your book, Master Guide to Financial Freedom, as probably what anybody would want to discuss around this conversation. So before we begin to dig deep into it, I want to say that for those who are watching us tonight, please go to his DM. There will be a link in his DM somehow, or either a link in his bio, or probably a DM to him on how to get the Financial Freedom Master Guide. That book will summarize everything that we're going to be discussing tonight for you. And so the concept of mindsets is a challenge that I have seen. So I know that people say that fix your mindset, get your mindset right. It was a tough journey for me because I'd grown up being somebody who keeps positive mindset about life. However, when it came to the concept and the issue of money, I was not quick to see how that was going to turn around my finances. I did not just get it right. And you see, this is where, for those of us who who have the stage all the time, for those of us who are privileged to stand in front of people to say some of these things, it is okay for us to equally balance it and help people further beyond just what we've got to say. So the general saying is that for you to attract wealth, for you to become wealthy, you have to change your mindset. There are some things that you need to learn. There are some that you need to unlearn. There are some that you need to relearn and bring into proper perspective. Very true. Pastors have told us that. Motivational speakers have told us that. Finance gurus have told us that. These things say absolutely true. But one of the challenges that I have seen most of the time is that people do not know how to convert that intangible resource to physical manifestation. I have seen that most of the time people do not know how they can take, now they have read all the books or they are reading the books. Their mindset is changing. They are no longer thinking like a poor man. But then that is intangible. That is something that is on the inside. How do we convert what is on the inside to physical manifestation? I was worried about this. It was a case for me. When I decided that I was going to be conscious about this, the first thing I did, which is the normal way for everybody to go the way of learning, go the way of acquiring knowledge, go the way of getting as much information as you can get. And so in the space of 1 month, I had consumed about 13 books on finance. And in less than 1 month, between the 25th of December of a particular year and the 13th of January the following year, less than a month, I've read about 15 books on the subject of money because I really wanted to get it right. But you see, I didn't get to start seeing that money until maybe 6 months later. I didn't start seeing the green lights until maybe 6 months later. And I was conscious to find out what was it that I would say happened in the space of that 6 months. In the space of that 6 months was the birthing process. I was already pregnant by consuming materials. I was already pregnant by changing my mindset through the things that I listened to, through the things that I read. I was already pregnant. But you see, you don't deliver a pregnancy in 2 months. You need to carry it to full time. You don't deliver a baby in 6 months. You need to carry it to full time. And so the process of carrying it to full time implies that at some point you are going to need to take paracetamol. At some point you are going to need to take folic acid. For those who have gone through this journey, you know. At some point you are going to need to have some blood medications. At some point you would have to probably exercise, probably walk through staircases. At some point, you will have to understand. For those of us, for women who are of the Christian faith, at some point you'll have to engage in some activities that will help the baby to form. At some point, you'll have to do a lot of things that helps the baby to develop. Even the diets that you begin to change, that you begin to consume will change. The baby will not form in 2 months. The baby will not form in 3 months. The same thing applies to the concept and the process of converting that spiritual manifestation or the psychological manifestation of wealth into physical manifestation. So what that helps you to do, building a positive mindset helps you to do, is that it helps you to begin to see life in a better way. It helps you to begin to spot opportunities where you were not seeing them before. Like you said, it takes a mind that is wealthy to command wealth on the physical. That's how it happens. And so I went through this journey. And I didn't see one drop. I didn't see the physical manifestation of it until the content I had consumed, until my mindset was fruitful enough to hold something. And I tell people, see, the money that your mind cannot hold, your hand cannot hold it. The money that your mind cannot hold, no matter what, let them lay legs on you, lay hands on you, pour oils on you, sprinkle water on you, sprinkle everything in this world on you. Your hand will not touch that money, because Money, like you said, is a magnet. There is an attraction. There is a force of attraction. There is a magnetic field that it builds. Ah, what a surprise. What a setup. What a setup.
Good to have you, sir.
You know why I joined? You know why I joined? I joined because what you guys are discussing are very important. So since I joined right now, the people on my own timeline will see you, and then they will join us. So just talking, just assume that I'm not here. I just want to wait for some people so that they can hear what you guys are saying, and then they can be part of the discussion. You see, people from my own timeline will now begin to join and begin to hear what we're saying. Yeah, go on. Fire, so that they can get some feedback. So when I leave,
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So like I was saying, and I would say, thankfully he joined. And I'm going to share this as well. Before we're still going to money management, sir. We're still going to money management.
Yes,
but
yes,
important that I mention this because I know that in the past series you had talked about mindset and all of that. I thought to bring this balance because really, see, there are people who have read more books than we have read. There are people who have listened to a lot of things more than we have done. But I have seen that some people are juggernauts in terms of knowledge consumption and their pocket is still empty. Their bank account is still empty. The ability to convert that knowledge resource to physical manifestation requires some level of deliberate actions and steps to take. The very first step is that your mind is renewed. Yes, your mind is renewed, but you need to take the step towards working out your salvation, which is very, very important. And so you don't begin to see opportunities. You don't begin to see. You don't begin to see where money. Like there is a place where money has a location. Money has an address. A lot of people would need to know where they're. So, in my journey, I said to myself, "There's no point looking for how so rich Elon Musk is. There's no point looking for how so wealthy Bill Gates is. I don't have to bother my head with how so wealthy Dangote is. But you see, every man's money is peculiar to him. So I need to find out where my money is, and that speaks to the kind of business, the kind of businesses I run for. That speaks to the kind of trade I should be engaging. Everybody, most people work in the bank. I don't have to be working in the bank before I become a millionaire. As a matter of fact, I didn't see millions. I didn't start seeing millions as a businessman. I started seeing millions as an employee in the corporate world. So the narrative, the general narrative that you cannot work for another man and be wealthy. I know, Mr. Oladipupo Clement, I know that people that work with you are wealthy people because I know how you treat your staff. And I know that you don't cheat them. So I know. So it's not a function of for you to be wealthy, you have to own a business. It's true that owning a business is fantastic. I own a business now to the glory of God, and it's fantastic. My wealth, the level of wealth that I command now has gone beyond where it used to be because I own a business. But you see, like your dear pastor will always tell us, that growing into wealth has to do with different vehicles that you decide to employ. It's just that an aeroplane is faster than a car. An aeroplane is faster than a train. So it depends on whichever way you want to go. But that aside, I hope that we'll be able to help people much later about how to convert that intangible resource to tangible resource. Let's look at the concept of money management. If some of the things that we'll be saying right now going forward looks like insult or sound like insult to people, I want to plead ahead now that some people should please not be offended. But you see, the truth is, it sounds like shocking to people when I say that it is a dangerous position to keep for you to be poor, oppressed, and stupid at the same time. It is a very dangerous position for anybody to be in. That you are poor, you are oppressed, you are poor because you probably do not even have control over your poverty. Most of us grew up being poor. I grew up being poor. I've walked on the street before. I've done all sort of unthinkable things growing up. So we grew up, so we didn't have control over where we're coming from. But you see, some people, at some point, we were equally oppressed by some of our wealthy friends or some of our friends that are from wealthy families because we feel chickened out. We feel somehow seeing people throw wealth around, which is still okay. We could control it, but then some of us didn't control it. But then, after being poor and oppressed, if somebody is now still stupid, in addition to those, that's a dangerous position to be in. And what does it take for people to be stupid? It's just simply that you have the right information and you are not using it. You are learning what you're learning. You're learning something that should help you break free financially, and you're not using it. So here is it basically. There is no two ways to this. There is no two ways to this thing. I tell people, instead of sitting down to pray next level prayer, why not start taking next level action after you have prayed next level prayer? Because really, pray from now till tomorrow. Thankfully, I will say that all of us on this show are believers. Pastor Niyi is a Mr. Oladipupo Clement is a pastor. In my former life, I was a pastor. So, to have started praying next level prayer without taking next level action is the properties of an irresponsible person. It is simply the definition of stupidity without wearing rags on the streets. That you know what you are supposed to do, that you know, that we're telling you now to make money, to manage money, and then you're saying this money belongs to some people. It is a definition of stupidity. So further into money management. There are a lot of people who are probably even listening to us tonight. The moment you see that Victor buys a Benz, and you say, Victor is less than 40 now, what stopped me from buying a Benz too? You go to rent money, rent money. You go to where again are all those places where they collect money from. You go to all those places and go and borrow money, and then you go and buy Mercedes-Benz A350 2019 model to show that you and Victor are of the same age, or to prove that Mr. Oladipupo, you know they have told us that you must act it to be it. There are some acting that are stupid acting. There are some acting it to be it. There are some that are you are not being realistic to yourself. So after you have made money, the next thing some people know, and I know you'll agree with me that one of the reasons why money is denoted by the word currency is because money always wants to move.
Absolutely.
Money loves motion. So one of the things that I've taken up as a responsibility, growing my wealth, moving forward, is not to stop money from moving. It's not to say that I'm going to hoard the money and keep the money to myself, but to say that I will be the one to decide the direction in which my money goes to. To say that I will be the one to chart the course, to give direction to my money. And that has been a great deal. And that's, in terms of money management, brings me to the concept of budgeting. I have friends who believe in budgeting. I understand. Or I have friends whose definition of budgeting is different. But you see, my simple definition of budgeting is this: control, that you are able to control and you are able to allocate. It's as simple as that. Let's not complicate it. Budgeting, basically, thank you so much, Pastor Niyi. Budgeting basically is to say that I am going to allocate my inflow and to control my outflow. That's what budgeting. That's the simple definition of budgeting. And it is unfortunate that a lot of people rather want to think about the money that is not enough. And so they don't want to save from what is not enough. They rather would want to compare themselves with the guy who earns more than them, or probably is doing more than them. And so they use that to make a general assumption that life is not balanced. You know how we say it in Nigeria? This life is not balanced. I tell you, the only person that should put balance to life is you and your God. Those are the people to put balance to your life. If you are looking for balance to life out of the economic situation of Nigeria, it probably will not be balanced. I am a student of mathematics, and I know how it is. How it is to be able to say that there are equations where you need to balance the equation. You see, at that point, there is nobody, especially when you're in the exam hall, there is nobody that balances the equation for you. You are the one that will sit down to balance the equation for yourself. If the equation is not balanced, you cannot say that you have got the answer right, or you cannot say that you have passed the exam. You have to balance the equation. And in this life, we are all writing exams. We are all students in this life. So when your time comes to balance the equation, will you truly be able to get the right answer to balancing the equation? And so just on the surface, managing money, it starts from understanding the basic concept of budgeting. There is what is called in finance, in basic finance, there's what is called the concept of zero-based budgeting. So say that your income minus your outcome must always be equal to zero. Your inflow minus your outflow must always be equal to zero. Your inflow minus your outflow must always be equal to zero. And somebody saying, how will it be zero? If I'm back to zero, am I not back to ground zero? No. What it simply means is that you have to ensure that you give every penny work to do. You have to ensure that every money you make has an assignment to fulfill. That is the place of allocation. You know, I said that budgeting is allocation and controlling. That you're able to allocate what comes in and you're able to control what goes out. This simple concept of money management. Simple concept. I have lived my life like this for the past 7 years and I have no regrets. I may not be driving the best of cars because really, except if I need to use that for I need to do that for some reasons. It really doesn't move me as such. And I'm thankful for the kind of people I have ahead of me. I know how long it took Mr. Oladipupo Clement to change his car. He doesn't send it. He doesn't send anybody. In my little jalopy, my mentor, Mr. Nia, will still call me. Come, let's go to social place. We will drive it together. So you know, it speaks to value system. It speaks to value system. It speaks to a lot of things that the kind of money that some of us have is not by what you see on the surface, not by the kind of car we drive, it's not by the kind of things that we do on the surface. It goes a long way beyond what people would consider on the surface. I just hope that this has created a perspective for people tonight as we join.
Wow. Interesting conversation, I must confess. So you've touched on a number of things. I just want to quickly see if I can summarize, especially for those who are just joining us. Everyone here listening to us, you can still watch the replay after we're done. So you said quite a whole lot, but in summary, you've been able to establish that, you know, you remind me personally of the fact that there are 3 things we can do with money. You can waste money, you can spend money, you can invest money. And it is in your budget that you determine which one to be spent, which one you can afford to waste, which one should be invested. I think it was a wise person that said, rich people, they invest first and spend whatever is left.
Exactly.
Poor people, they spend first and invest whatever is left, if there is anything at all.
If there is anything left.
And more often than not, there's nothing left. Absolutely. And that's usually the main thing. So thank you so much. And then your concept of budgeting is quite very simplified, and I love it because I'm quite familiar with it. I even define budgeting as a money-making plan and a money-spending plan.
Wow.
All right, as simple as that. Money-making plan and a money-spending plan. So if you will not be broke tomorrow, it is today in your budget we will know.
Absolutely.
The color of your future is in your budget. While record keeping helps you to replay the past, you know, helps you to review history. Yes. Your budget is what gives you forecast into the future.
Absolutely.
And that's so important. You can never retain what you have attained. You can never maintain and retain whatever you have attained without a budget. And that's critical. So for an individual, for an organization, for a family, budgeting is so important because,
very important.
You know, my brother, I went to train some teachers in Chrisland in VGC a few years ago, and I recall after the session, a woman ran after me and said, "Man, that was a powerful session." He said, but she asked me a very profound question. He said, when will we be ever free from having to save and invest? And I told her, I made a simple statement. I gave her a simple statement. I said, whether you save and invest or not, the money will still not go around.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I see that wealthy and very rich people do is that they prioritize their investment. So they treat their savings and investment as an expense, as an outflow. And that brings me back to the zero budgeting concept you talked about, that it must balance. So there must be no negatives. So it must balance out. One of the ways by which it will balance is by prioritizing your investment and your savings. All right. And that's pretty much the way it goes. Okay. So now, before I also proceed before I ask you further questions, I just want to talk about, this is the book that I released in July this year. The book is available for order. You can place order for this, and then we deliver to you anywhere in Nigeria for free. Okay, and then the book comes also with a money back guarantee. It does a lot of, it does work. The book produces results. I'm too confident about this material, and that's why we say we will give you your money back if it does not produce the results it offers. Okay. So also I'm hosting the Financial Freedom Masterclass January 28 and 29. If you want to register, I guarantee you, that class also comes with a money back guarantee. Everybody who has attended the previous classes only attended just one full day, and they always wish that it can be extended. That's why we all had to make it 2 days. And it's so practical. And then most people who have attended my classes will know that I'm extremely vulnerable. And I'll tell you all my mistakes. I tell you everywhere I failed, and then tell you why you should not do certain things. And then I also give you templates, things that are producing results for me. And then you also have opportunity to join my tribe. I say to people all of the time, people have asked me countless times, I want you to mentor me, I want you to coach me. The only legitimate way and the simplest way by which I provide coaching and mentoring is by attending the Financial Freedom Masterclass. By so doing, you join my tribe. I call it the tribe of wealthy origin. I say to people all of the time, rich people flow in communities. Poor people also flow in communities. They go in communities. So which community do you belong to? All right. And that's one thing that this does for you. By becoming a member of the tribe, periodically we have group coaching sessions. And then from every week, without fail, I share inspiration that impacts on people's lives, on voice notes on the group, both on Telegram and on WhatsApp. And it's been a very good time. People ask questions, personal questions, and then we attend to those things. And there are a whole lot more. 7 of my books will be given for free by attending that class. It does not include this. It does not include this, mind you. It doesn't include this one. This one, you have to place order for this one. By the way, the book is also on Amazon already. So you can also, for those of you who are in the US, Canada, the UK, yes, you can check that out. We only have it available on Kindle for now. Before the end of this year, hopefully, you'll be able to place order for hard copies from Amazon. All right. So, my dear brother.
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you you said something earlier about being stupid. I mean, talking about being oppressed, being poor, and then being stupid. And that when you were defining that stupidity, that was what caught my attention the most. And when you said that knowing what you should do and not doing it, right, is your definition of stupidity. Now, I realize that one of the hallmarks, one of the habits of champion, one of the things that separates men from the boys, is their ability to do what they need to do, even when they don't feel like doing it. I told somebody today, I said today I've read 2 books today. I've engaged, I say it all the time that one of the areas of my weakness is daily exercise, physical aerobics and all of those things. So I told myself, if I want to really enjoy the wealth I'm working and laboring hard to build, I need to be healthy and I need to be, so I've made the commitment that I'm not going to joke with that. So daily I do exercise, and then I read several other things. I read my Bible every day, every day, Genesis to Revelation every year. So that's one thing that I do. So I was telling the person, I said, it's not convenient. I said, but discipline is doing what you have to do even when you don't feel like doing it. So my question to you is that budgeting is so important. There are people who even write the budget, but they find it difficult to keep up and stick to the budget, right? There's always something that is competing for their resource control, competing for the resources. And if you have to attend to everything, 24 hours is not enough. If you earn ₦1 million a month, it's still not enough. If you earn 30 million a month, it will still not be enough. There will be more demands than the resources available. So you are the one that will have to prioritize. Can you so speak to how do you develop discipline to ensure you do what you have to do, even when you don't feel? What must people put in place? What can you do to develop that discipline?
Great. I'm happy you're asking this question. I take time to teach personal finance and the likes of it. People ask me, you know, it's not easy. You know, family members are poor. You know, there is there's scarce resources, and there are loads of people demanding for those scarce. You know, all sort of excuses, all sort of valid reasons, and there are most of those reasons are valid reasons. Valid reasons.
Very valid.
But I say always that. A man that is going to be wealthy, must, especially if you're starting small, you must learn to stay with templates. And I love the fact that you mentioned that you give people templates. It's one of the easiest things I have helped people to achieve money mastery and financial freedom with, to say that this is a template, follow this template. And this is where the question you have asked, this is how I'm going to bring it down. Very, very simple. So, your ability to define your own emergency, the ability to define what is an emergency for you, goes a long way, to helping you becoming disciplined. So this is just one of the concepts. I'll touch on some others. So, I have gone as far as helping people to define what emergency is when it comes to the use of money. So one of the things I've seen people do is that people have said that school fees is an emergency, house rent is always an emergency, my wife suddenly put to bed is an emergency. What again is an emergency? My pastor needs to change his car is an emergency for a lot of people. What again is an emergency? My neighbor's children are staying back at home. They can't pay school fees. Suddenly have become emergencies. So I say that if you're able to identify what truly is an emergency for you, your journey becomes shorter automatically. And so I have gone to burst people's bubbles by saying that, one, anything you can plan ahead of, anything you can plan way ahead of can never be an emergency. Anything at all that you can pick your pen and write it down and say that so time is when this money is going to be due, it is not qualified to be an emergency. For those of us who live in Africa, especially in Nigeria, we pay rent annually. So your annual rent can never be an emergency. And you know, some people are so stupid. The word stupid I brought about the other time. You know, I apologize ahead. So let that apologies cover for every other one that is coming. You see, some people are so stupid that they don't look for house rents until month 11. Some people are so the other way around that rent expires in December. November is when they are knocking at different people's door, and they know how to craft those kind of messages. My brother, you see, once somebody wants to ask you for money, I say, my brother, you see, my brother. When they begin to put some sentiments ahead, you know that some irresponsibility has taken place before that time. So your ability to define your emergency. What are your emergencies? Anything you can plan ahead of cannot be. House rent is not an emergency. You have in Africa, in Nigeria, you have 11 months to plan for house rents. School fees, at barest minimum, you have 3 months to plan ahead for school fees. So it cannot be an emergency. So what are the things that keeps money away from people? Some people say that, you know, I have to pay school fees my salary is low, this one, that one. I say, see, if you cannot save, if you're earning 50,000 naira and you cannot save, if you earn 200,000 naira, you will never save. So the discipline starts from the little things, from your ability to control your emotions, from your ability to tame your tongue, from your ability to control what goes into your mouth. Some people cannot just do without drinking a bottle of malt every day. It might look small to some people. It might look very small to some people. Some people are they're so indisciplined that they cannot do without eating shawarma per week, as if shawarma is going to open the gates of heaven for them. Some people will change their cars every year just to keep up with the Joneses. To say that no, you know, I belong to this group of people. We change our cars every year. Who are you trying to impress with that? There is nobody you are trying to impress with that. So the way people have come up over time, pressure, mixing with the wrong people, allowing the media to control them, has come a long way to making people become absolutely indisciplined and not having the ability to tame and control themselves. So basically, what is it? How am I able to put myself under check? Do you think I don't want to eat shawarma too? I equally want to eat shawarma. You think I don't want to drink malt on a daily basis? You think I don't want to buy MSC and champagne? I equally want to buy those things. But a man that is on a mission, knows that everything cannot appeal to him. It is not everything that appeals to a man that is on a mission. You can't have $1 million future and be hanging around with people with a present that is not worth 1 million. You cannot have a future that is worth billions and be romancing the present that is worth millions. No, you have to aim ahead and begin to look towards that $1 billion future. And so it's important that we're able to put ourselves in check. See, it's not hard. It is not hard. Let me give you an instance. Of recent, my wife did walk up to me to say that somebody was going to go and begin to lose weight and all of that, someone very close to us. And then she came visiting maybe a week or two later. And then she requested that after she has been served food on the dining, she requested that we give her a bottle of drink to wash it down so that it will help ginger the appetite. And then because of how close we are, it became, no, I won't give you. We are trying to help you beat this shape in place. I won't give you. No, that is how the food is going to go down. That is how the appetite is going to come. I said, no. And then it occurred to me that truly a lot of people want to be wealthy, but they don't want to sacrifice the lifestyle that they have right now. It's about lifestyle change. How can you alter your lifestyle? You think I don't want to fly? I don't want to fly business class? No, now I can fly business class. But when I cannot fly, in time past when I couldn't fly business class, I stay in my economy and save the money forward. Now we can afford to fly business class. But before now, we were not flying business class. We were accumulating the money. We were managing ourselves. Now we can afford to do it. The ability to wait for things, it is discipline to be able to put your emotions under control when it comes to money. It is discipline for you to say that I am checking where my money goes to. It is discipline to say that even though I can buy Ferragamo, even though I can afford to wear Zara right now, even though I can afford to buy, which other one again? I entered into a store in Dubai and I saw a shoe that is worth, by the time we translated it back in the back over there, the shoe, just shoe, that's how we wear on my leg, just shoe. It was about 750,000 naira. And I said, okay, not that we didn't have the money, but
it's very cheap. It's very cheap. I don't buy cheap things.
It's very cheap. Not that it's expensive.
It's too cheap. Very cheap.
I don't buy cheap things. I agree with you, sir. But really, lifestyle change. So I know this is difficult, but it starts with a made-up mind. A man that is on a mission will give up everything that looks like shedding of weight right now, so that you can approach that future. And it becomes important. It becomes important that people begin to check their lifestyle. It's not. I know that your mouth really wants to drink the Coke. I know that you want to buy. The moment they say that the clothes is worth 100,000 naira, you want to buy it. I know that Ashwebi, you can't just do without buying the Ashwebi. Every man is in control. See, there is nothing like, you cannot be so indisciplined that you say, no, you know, I can't control it. When you get to a place in your life where it feels like you cannot control yourself to spend, then you have problems. And I'm sorry to say that laying on of hands will not solve that problem. Laying on of legs will not solve that problem. Pouring of oil and sprinkling of water and sprinkling of blood will not solve that problem. You will have to come to terms with yourself. You have to come to the understanding of where you are supposed to be, what you are supposed to be doing part-time to curtail yourself. Sir, I have seen gross indiscipline with people, especially when it comes to money. I have seen gross indiscipline with people. You know the mentality that some people have, that let's spend what is available now, especially people who live on salary, monthly salary. You know, let's just spend, another one is coming. You know, no wonder some good motivational speakers have told us that. No wonder some motivational speakers have told us that your salary is what they give you to forget your dream. It is because of people that are not disciplined like this that statement was made for. It is because of people who are not disciplined. That's why that statement came into limelight. But the truth, sincerely, the truth is your need to delay gratification goes a long way. There is nobody who does not want to enjoy life, but you need to come to terms with yourself to understand that there is the time for everything under heaven. There is the time for you to drive a limo. There is the time for you to keep your head low. There is the time for you to wear a particular thing. There is the time, and you see, there is nothing new under heaven. The clothes that you think are the in thing today, by tomorrow they are already overtaken by newer ones. The shoes that appears to be the best in town for you today, see, every knowledge expires, every knowledge begins to become obsolete in the next 1 minute. The moment it crosses the mind of someone, is already obsolete. We will have needs for new one again. So the same thing applies to everyone. That you need to sit down, that you need to come to terms with yourself and say that, what must I give up to go up? What must I give up right now so that I can attain what I want to attain, or where I want to get to? And it's important. See, if we preach discipline, I know if we preach discipline from now to tomorrow, some people will still not get it right. But you see, it starts with a made-up mind. And the truth is, you cannot be praying next level prayer and not be taking next level action. That's where it starts from. Do whatsoever you want to do. If you will not, after this call tonight, if you will not pick your pen and begin to write what you begin to do in the next 1 minute, in the next 1 hour, you are not a candidate to move into the level we are talking about. That you are able to sit with yourself and say that when the journey began for us, sir, when the journey began in my family, I called the chief financial officer, which is my wife. I called her and said, my wife, come, let's look at it. What are the things that we can give up now? What are the things that we can let go of now? And wise woman, she sat with me and we began to tick the things that we should give up on. Not that we didn't want those things, not that those things, but we have to sit down with ourselves to say that let's begin to tick the ones that we can let go for now, the ones that we can sacrifice for now, the ones that we can delay to the future, the ones that we can allow to slide for now. And we began to note them down. Drastically, what we did, we brought down the expenses. Because really, I say to people that if your outflow is more than your inflow, you're on an express lane to poverty. If your outflow is more than your inflow, you are on an express lane to poverty. There is nothing that is going to stop you. See, there is no church, there is no pastor, there is no imam that is going to bring you out from that poverty. You are speeding right into the ditch of poverty. If what you are earning, if what you are spending is more than what you are earning, it's just basic. It's just basic. If there's anything like Finance 101, that's what it is. That you are able to see with yourself. So what did I do? We just sat down and brought down the expenses. And then the overflow, the ones that we have been able to save, the ones that we're able to cut away from that, boom, we pushed it into savings. And I can tell you, in less than 1 decade, just from that source, because that I consider that back then as a source of income that I'm able to curtail my lifestyle. Everything we're able to pull aside from that has accumulated over 7 years as I speak with you. Just what we're able to pull aside, not to talk of our drive for income generation, to now start going for more, to say, what more can I sell? What can I buy? What can I sell? What more can I do? What more value can I give? And then the wealth grew from like, and on a daily basis, I'm always looking for opportunities to grow the money. That's what I'm always looking for. Opportunities to make more. Opportunities. What can I sell today? What can I buy from here? What can I sell from there? What more can I give? What value can I give? If there's anything I can sell to Mr. Oladipupo Clement today that will give me 10 million naira, I'm coming to your office tomorrow.
Awesome. You were just spitting out some heavy stuff, and I kept documenting a lot. You see, everyone listening to us here, I'm sure some of the things we're sharing here today are not entirely new to some of us.
Absolutely.
Discipline is critical. And to develop discipline, I have a simple formula. Ask yourself these two questions. What will go wrong? And what will go right?
Absolutely.
What will go wrong? What will go wrong? What will go wrong if you are not capable of paying your children's school fees? What will go wrong if you are unable to pay your rent when it is due? What will go wrong if your wife finally delivers and you cannot pay hospital bill? What will go wrong? What sort of embarrassment will come from that? You see, as human beings, we are all motivated by two forces. We are motivated by pain, or you are motivated by pleasure. So most times people don't define these things. They don't answer these critical questions. And as a result, they lose the commitment to postpone gratification, just like we have said. And this is phenomenal. I love the part where you said if your outflow is more than your inflow, you are on an express lane to poverty. Very
Absolutely,
deep, deep gone.
Absolutely.
Very deep, deep gone. And then anything you can plan ahead, ahead of time, can never be an emergency. These are powerful nuggets. And let's start with
sir, in addition to that, sir, in addition to that, I sit down with people a lot. I have clients from the UK and some foreign Nigerians living in diaspora who do not know how to manage money. So some of them have resorted to consulting this small boy to help them get their money sense right. And I say that what makes for an emergency, for me, that's why I tell people you have to be able to define your emergency yourself. What makes for an emergency? Because really, the word emergency has kept a lot of people in poverty for a long time. And I say that, what makes for an emergency for me is simple. If nobody is going to jail or nobody is going to die, then that thing is not qualified to be an emergency. That is my own definition. So what makes me bring out the money is that somebody is going to go to jail or somebody is going to die if I don't bring out the money. And as a matter of fact, there is a principle that is called some people do 1 week principle, some people call it 7-day principle. So say that when the request for money comes, you hold on for the next 7 days, the next 1 week. If that request is still there, then it means that request is yours to fulfill. But if it disappears before your 7 days is over, so be it. Then it's not meant for you to fulfill.
In other words, that's not an emergency.
That's not an emergency. That's not an emergency. If it's truly an emergency, well, let's allow people define their emergency. But for me, God knows my emergency. If nobody is going to die and nobody is going to jail, we can rock the situation no matter what. You see house rents? It is lack of planning that makes people to hold house rents. It is lack of planning.
Wow.
School fees, it is lack of planning.
This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Thank you so much. This has been incredible. If you have any question whatsoever, please feel free to drop your questions as we gradually wind down for tonight. While waiting for your questions,
I've had a question
is
before
a book you need to get.
Having to discuss this. Okay, great. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so if you do not yet have a copy of this book, and if you already ordered, I'd encourage you to read this book, and then I'd love to hear your feedback. But for those of you who have yet to get this book will bless you. This book will impact you economically. If you really want to journey to financial freedom, I say to people all the time, there are 5 levels in your journey to financial freedom. There's financial crisis, there's financial, instability. Financial crisis is where your take home does not take you home. Financial instability is when financial instability is when your take home does not take you home. Financial crisis is when you are not making money, but you still have to spend money anyway. Everybody is talented at spending. Wow. All of us are gifted at spending. Nobody goes to school to go and learn how to spend money. We are all gifted at spending money. So, but you want to cure that, you want to journey from that point, it's a terrible place to be. Financial instability is also a very terrible place to be. Statistics shows that 75% of Nigerians earn less than 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira a month. That's less than $200 a month. That's ridiculous. And
ridiculous.
How do you move? How can you maintain a family, a family of 3, a family of 5, a family of 6 on 100,000 naira a month? Why would you not contemplate of committing suicide? Why would you not contemplate of killing or ritual or cutting corners, and all of those things? So, and then there's financial stability. That's the 3rd level. Financial stability is where the proceed from your income is capable of meeting your needs. So that means the money you make active income can meet, can bear the load, can bear the responsibility that are facing you. But that's a very terrible place to be. So you, in a nutshell, maintain financial equilibrium. It's a terrible place to be because if anything goes wrong with your active income, you can easily slide down to financial instability or financial crisis. And that's why it's a mediocre life to maintain financial stability. So when they say you are financially stable, you are not doing well. You are really in trouble. If anything goes wrong with your current active source of income, then you are finished. So the next level the 4th level is financial independence. Financial independence is when the proceeds from your investment or asset is capable of meeting your personal and family needs without you having to work another day. That's a good place to be, but it's not the ultimate. It's a fairly better place to be, especially in a country like Nigeria, but it's not the ultimate. And what's the ultimate place to be? And that is financial freedom. Financial freedom is that point in your life where the proceeds from your investment and asset is not only capable of meeting your personal and family needs, but also able to extend goodness and kindness to others. Absolutely. And that's the ultimate plan and purpose of God for each and every one of us. God's ultimate plan is not to bless you and I, is to make us a blessing. So, but there's a way you can, do charitable giving without you necessarily shutting down your life. You don't share your oil, you share the light. And that's exactly how this plays out. So this book will help you move from wherever you are. If you're in financial crisis, this book can help you. If you're in financial instability, this book can help you to journey to financial freedom. It's a brilliant masterpiece, and I'm proud to be the author. There are many collection of books on finance, and I think I'm proud of this one. I'm very, very proud of this one. So I want you to get it. So just call the number 0708 7970441, or you can also add the +234, the Nigerian code, just in case you are outside Nigeria. So 0708 7970441. You can also call that number if you want to attend my masterclass, the Financial Freedom Masterclass. This one is one-on-one. I'm going to be spending time with you and then coaching you through the process. The class is 100,000 naira, just 100,000 naira. Somebody said knowledge is, if you say knowledge is expensive, say try ignorance, it will cost you more.
Try ignorance.
Since I have been privileged to attend all kinds of courses, all kinds of programs. This year alone, I spent over $30,000 on personal development. And so you really, the investment in yourself is the number one investment, because you have enough sense to make quality decisions. And so I want to encourage you. So if you have any question, please drop it. We'll be taking questions.
I thought to mention as well that January is by the corner. And I know that my friends in the motivational speaking industry will start doing all sort of goal setting master classes now. And I see in this book, chapter 8, where you address the concept of seductive goal setting as regards the subject of discussion. So, rather than jumping around looking for what is not lost, this is the place to go to first. I must say that this is not just a master class. It is a master guide. It is I figure out that one of the troubles that people have with the issue of finance is that they don't have a guide. They don't have a template. There is no step by step. There is no workable step to follow. And that's what you have presented in this material. So I'm joining you to say that people should hurry up right now and make order. If it gets finished, sir, you print another batch. We must get, if there is anything, I have decided I am going to help people with, I'm going to help my generation with, it is financial literacy. You know what? I figure out that I have had reasons to interact with Africans living in Africa and Africans living in the diaspora. And I have seen that when it comes to the subject of money, like we're discussing tonight, the major issue is not money itself. The major issue is financial literacy all across Africa, from the length and breadth of Africa. The major challenge is financial literacy. That people do not know how to make money, that they do not know how to manage money, that they do not know how to multiply their money and retain the money.
To multiply
and that's why I love what you do. A lot of people talk about making money, managing money, multiplying the money. There is a part that has to do with maintaining and retaining the money. How do you think Warren Buffett has been able to drive and hold car for a long time? You can't drive a car for 6 months and not maintain it. A lot of people are not maintaining their wealth. And that's why you hear that Mr. So used to be rich and he came down. Because the part that speaks to maintaining it, that helps you ultimately to retain it, is always missing. And I know that by the time people approach you in January and come for the masterclass in January, or probably pick up the master guide right now, these are cheap things for them to pick up from this. And sir, you said some people will consider $200 or a little over $200 as expensive. That is not expensive, sir. Every January, I make orders for materials from the US, because I live in Nigeria. From the US, I order straight from Amazon and they ship down to me. I can't count the amount of dollars that I spent to do that. 2021 January alone, when they were bringing, they brought them in a box. 90% of those resources were resources of personal finance or money. I know some of my Christian people, this guy has backfeeded, the love of money has entered into him. Don't worry. Don't worry. Leave me and God will say to ourselves. But sincerely, it is important. It is important that people take money serious. Money powers good intention. I tell people all the time. If you say you have good intention and you don't have money, you are going to be frustrated. Money powers good intention. If you have good intention and you lack money, you live in frustration for a long time. So if you want your good intention to come to fruition, if you want a good intention to become the talk of the town, if you want a good intention to even please God, look for money so that you can execute that good intention. It is important. It is important.
Wow. Money powers good intention, man. That's another bullet there. That's another bomb. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. I know if we are to go for one more hour, I know we have enough to say. And then since nobody's asking any question, we'll be calling it a day tonight. And then same time next week, 7 p.m. same time, next week, Tuesday, we'll be having this conversation also. We'll continue this conversation. And my dear friend also, Sunday Olorunseyi, will be online.
Great.
And then we'll take it to another level. So far, we've had Tally Cash, we've had TMO, and today is VHF for short.
Thank you,
so
sir.
Next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m., we'll be talking to Sunday Olorunseyi on the same subject matter, on this money thing. And you really don't want to miss it. I look forward to hosting all of you. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in tonight's session. I believe you've drawn value. For those of you who want to get the book or you want to attend the Financial Freedom Masterclass, just call the number 070-8797-0441. I take it again, 0708-797-0441. The Financial Freedom Masterclass comes up January 28 and 29. It's a Friday and a Saturday. And it's a full day session and promises to be a time of your life. There's a lot that comes with this package. There's you get 7 of my books. You get inducted into my tribe of wealthy origin. You get weekly mentoring, voice notes, inspirational voice notes. You get a whole lot by joining by attending this class. And for those who have been saying, "Oh, I'm looking for a mentor," that is the pathway for me to dedicate my time to provide mentorship. So you want to take advantage of this opportunity as quickly as you can. There is nobody, and I make bold to say there's nobody who has attended this Financial Freedom Masterclass who doesn't live there and say, sorry, I got more than I paid for. But usually people also wish that they have more time, that we extend the program by 1 more day and all of that. That's why we have extended this by 1 more day. And so you really don't want to miss it. So register now. For those who are registering this month, you get a whopping 50% discount. So just call the number 0708-797-0441 to register. And then you also call that same number to order for this book. We deliver anywhere in Nigeria for free. So call that number to place order right now. Thank you so much, Mr. VHF.
Great.
Thank you so much. I love to, Madam.
I don't know if you want to talk to someone that posted a question up here.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't see any questions. So
someone is saying,
how can someone who is in financial crisis? My question would be, how can someone who is in financial crisis, who cannot even afford your book, not to talk of the Financial Freedom Masterclass in January, what would you say to such person? That's what we have been saying here. That's what we have been saying here the last 2 weeks. The first week we dissected, making money. We looked a bit on that, and I know of no other skill. There are many skills, but I know of no other skills that earns you income like selling skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills. I know of no other skills than those 3 that I just mentioned. And without even certificate, once you can sell, you can communicate, you can solve problems for people, money will flow to you. But when you have now made the money, how do you manage it? That's what we have talked about today, budgeting and all of that. Last week, Tuesday, TMO and I, we dissected the mindset issue, and it was explosive. And so that's what I can say to you. That's why we're having this session, really, because we recognize not everybody will be able to afford to attend our classes. But then the truth of the matter is, I used to do a lot of things for free, but the value of my 1 hour is $1,000. My 1 hour is worth $1,000 for now, as of today. So even this session now is worth over $1,000. So I believe that even if you join this class late, it will not be out of place to go and watch the replays and even the replay of this particular edition, so that you can glean from it. And that's the only free gift I can give to you. And then when you start making the money, little money, invest in it, because when you pay attention. All right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For joining. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. VHF, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
I appreciate this moment.
So
my love to Madam.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege hanging around with you tonight. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. My regards to the family.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all. And so till same time next week, Tuesday, my good friend Olorunse Sunday will be online, and then we'll be discussing the same this money thing. And you really don't want to miss it. Sunday is a billionaire, and so we'll be discussing at that level, on that day, and then we'll be sharing some personal stories and how we have been able to journey. All right. You don't want to miss it. Thank you. For those of you who have not yet ordered for the book, or you have not yet registered for the Financial Freedom Masterclass, do so by calling 0708-797-0441. For those of you who are not following me, you better do that right away so that you can get and turn on your notifications so that you can get updates on new opportunities and new things that are coming up. So see you next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m.